Shalom Akim, Kahalarim La Yahaba Shemi Ashab Bashim Kadash, and double honors to Grams and Apostles, Thadi Al Thadi Ashab for the strength in order to make this video, and Yaratazar that you also edified, and of course that you've understood this video too. Because really it's just going down to a simple lesson based on Babylon, really giving, well, I named it the Golden Cup of Corruption, which is reference to Babylon, which in other words is America. Because that golden cup, which we're going to get some precepts based on that, is reference to read the philosophies and all the ways of Babylon, the ways of America, which is used to then corrupt and influence the other nations too. For instance, also read them trying to bring in, how can I say this? I probably call them the alphabet people, the transformer people, into that type of culture. America's trying to instill that in the other nations, man. I think they tried to do that in another. Well, the point is that they're influencing. They're trying to push that to the other nations, man. And even just with social media alone, that's also another route that they can use in order to try to attempt to influence the other nations, as well as, of course, using their money for it. So that's why I named it the Golden Cup of Corruption, because with that Golden Cup of which America has, they're going to start using it to really put a stronghold, or really to suffocate the other nations, because of America is seen as this great nation, which it is destined to fall, and it is strong. The Most High has puffed up America. But remember, pride comes before the fall, which means it's an indicator of a future fall when pride comes in. And that's why we ourselves, we must be cautious in this truth as well, so that we don't get prideful. Just because we've got this knowledge, it doesn't mean that we've got to be prideful and then start, looking down on, other people, man. Because we ourselves, we're still in the flesh, we're still human beings right now. It's not as if we're in that state where we're in perfection, because we ourselves, we need mercy as well. And that's why, if it be possible, be at peace with all men, as the scriptures say. So that's just, on that person level. But I said the focus today is based upon Babylon, which is America, the Golden Cup. And as I named it, the Golden Cup of Corruption. So this is Revelation. I was going to read 18, but I'll read 18 after I read chapter 17, verse, I think around 4. So it says here, hold on. All right. So this is Revelation 17 verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore, which sitteth upon many waters. And that great whore is representative of America. And of course, let's read on to verse 2. It says, With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. That fornication is really going into her wicked ways. As I said, they're trying to put that alphabet culture, transformer culture, that specific community that always has that month of pride. They're trying to push that out to the other nations, man, the African nations and the European nations as well. Babylon's just spreading that nonsense everywhere. It says, with whom the kings of the earth, so the rulers, the presidents and prime ministers and whatnot. It says the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So that committed fornication is really just the presidents and the prime ministers making deals with Babylon the Great. The rulers of this country is making deals with Babylon the Great. So instead of them to have their own customs, they're then influenced by the wickedness and the uncleanness of Babylon, of America. So it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been drunk with the wine of her fornication. It says in verse 3, So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. So really what that scarlet colored beast full of names of blasphemy is really going against Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because you can only commit blasphemy against the one true power, which is Yahweh, and that's his name. And so when we say Kal Halalim La, we say all praises to. That's what it means. Kal Halalim La. Kal means all. Halalim is plural for halal, which is in the ancient Hebrew, by the way. Halalim means praises. Halal means praise. And then La means to. So Kal Halalim La means all praises to in the ancient Hebrew. Then Yahweh is the name of the Most High, for which the world ignorantly calls him God. And Yahushua is the name of our Messiah, Israel's Messiah. And again, as I always like to say, more specifically, the elect, because when I say the elect, I'm referring to those mentioned in Revelation 100 and Revelation 14 and about verse 1 to 2, and also Zechariah 1 and verse 9. Man. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say the elect. But there will be that governing body. The governing body is the one mentioned in Revelation 14, verse 1 to 2. So it says that, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and then 10 horns, which goes into NATO and the EU countries, you know. So it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple. When I say that, I said having 7 heads and 10 horns, those are representatives of, you know, the countries involved in NATO and the EU, just to clarify. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stone and pearls. So this also, you can see it as Babylon being that desirous place to go to. People want to do business with them. They want to go there to live. They want to go there on holiday. They want to do many things with Babylon, man. That's just the place that people desire. So even in Nigeria as well, I remember when you know, when I do visit there from the past, I haven't gone there in some time. You know, when you just either ask or you listen to people where you'd like to go, you know, that question, where would you like to go as a vacation? You know, most of them just say America, man. You know, not even UK. They say America. That's where they want to go. So that just shows you right there that, you know, Babylon is Babylon the Great. You know, is living after its name, but that's only temporary. People always want to go to America. So it says precious stones and pearls having a golden cup. So this is Revelation 17 and 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. So what that goes into is really that golden cup is just talking about how, again, once more, Babylon is just spreading its uncleanliness. Yeah, uncleanliness. You know, so which is really just going into the wickedness. Anything that goes against Yahweh Shem Yahushua is what Babylon is doing. That's ultimately what it is. That's why it says a golden cup in her hand, her, which is reference to America, in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornications. And all those abominations are referring to, you know, remember the alphabet community, of course, the dietary, the way the diet is, even going into that. You know, we've got the genetically modified foods as well. So that's more predominant in America than it is even in the UK. But of course, American ways have been used to influence the ways of the other nations, man. That's why you see these American brands, you know, McDonald's and I think some other brands as well. Probably there's so many of them right now, but I know McDonald's predominantly you'll see them in other countries as well. Despite it being an unhealthy brand, the thing is, you know, other countries are still adopting the ways of Babylon. That's just in a minor way. Psychologically, the people are also getting influenced by the ways of Babylon too. All right, so yeah, that's really the point in verse 4 about the golden cup. I'm going to get a few more precepts as well based on that golden cup too. But prior to Revelation 18, let me read verse 2 again. Revelation 17 and 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk in the wine of her fornication. So, of course, the inhabitants of the earth, which is all about the other nations, have been corrupted by the wine that Babylon has given. The wine represents philosophies and the wicked ways of Babylon that are an influence towards um towards the other nations ultimately. So hold on. So that was Revelation 17:3. Something else I was supposed to get. Oh yeah, come on. Right, so let me get either 0:28 or Proverbs. So okay, I've got the wrong page. So this is Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 7. It says here, okay, so this is Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 7. But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink. I remember when I said the wine mentioned in Revelation 17 and verse 2 was talking about the ways and the wicked ways of Babylon. That influence the philosophies of Babylon. This is a precept that links to that. So this is Isaiah 28 and 7. But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink, and they are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink, and they err in vision. They stumble in judgment. For all the tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Let me see if the next verse is worth reading. Whom shall ye? No, yeah. The key part, it really ends at verse 8. So I'll read it again. Isaiah 28 and verse 7. But they also have erred through wine. Babylon's wine has corrupted the other nations, really. All you gotta do is just observe how their people are, and then compare how their people were to, let's say 10 or 20 years back in history. You know that Babylon's influence has done something. It says, and through strong drink are out of the way. So they're out of the way that they're supposed to be. They would have had their own customs and then followed them, as the will of the Most High would have been for them. But then Babylon has now had a corruptive, or if that's even a word, an influence of corruption onto these other nations. It says here, the priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. For all the tables are full of vomit and filthiness. And that same filthiness, also mentioned in Revelation 17 and about verse 4, is also something that Babylon, America, wants to spread to the other nations, man. Filthiness, uncleanness. Which is really just talking about their own ways being spread in these other nations. It says here, for all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. So Babylon, the fact that it's that unclean and they want to spread, is that someone dirty who has an intention of making other people dirty. Yeah, that's what Babylon is. But Babylon is that person who wants to make other people dirty. He wants to make the clean unclean. And that's really going against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So that's Isaiah 28 and verse 7. Actually, verse 8 to end off with. Well, not to end off with, but for that point there. Said I wanted to get Revelation. Actually, before I get Revelation, let me get one more quick precept before I get Revelation. Because Revelation is still on a similar point. This is Proverbs 20 and verse 1. Wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. So, of course, that wine as well, yes, it is a strong drink, is referenced. If you apply it in terms of the context of America and their ways, yes, it is a strong influence that they do have. And it says whoever is deceived thereby, so deceived by the ways of by the wine of Babylon, in other words, the ways of Babylon, is not wise. That's the thing, because the nations are going to realize, oh damn, so all that support that you were giving us was just to manipulate us the whole time. Yes, that's why Russia got sanctioned. I think it was either, well, I'll say relatively recent, not recently, like as in this year, but it was probably last year, or because really the Ukraine-Russia war began in 2020. So between 2022 2023, that's when Russia got sanctioned by America, man. And then all the all the foreign dollars that Russia owned, that was locked out from them, man, which obviously would affect trade with other countries too, because American dollar is like the anchor for all these other nations. Hence why the idea of the BRICS currency came in, which involves Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and you got the other more of the Arab nations such as I think Iran, Ethiopia, and United Arab Emirates as well. So those are a few other countries too. So they're trying to they're formulating an alternative to the US dollar, man. So that's already a signal in itself that America's going to fall. They're going to try and do all they can. America's going to try to do all they can for the dollar to not fall. But the dollar will fall eventually. And of course, this alternative pay, BRICS pay, is is a way of Putin saying, yeah, America, we don't need you. As the scriptures say, let the weak say, I am strong. That ought to be in Joel 3. So Yaratazar will get that right now. Hold on, let me even see. Because I know I'm also holding Revelation 18. Alright, let's get this. So Revelation 8, hold on, wait. I know it's in Joel 3. Hold on. Alright, I found it. This is Joel 3 and verse 10. I'll read from verse 9. So Joel 3, verse 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. This is preparation for war. In other words, or to be more specific, for the World War III war. World War III war. But for World War III, that's what they're gathering for. It says, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Actually, hold on, I skipped a verse, sorry. From verse 9 again, proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say, I am strong. And these are all these other nations resisting against the oppression of Babylon, man, the control of Babylon. Because Babylon's trying to, they're trying to control these other nations as well, man. Put a flipping their foot on their necks. So that's what I meant by that's what I was referring to when I said let the weak say I'm strong. With the BRICS currency as well. That's what they're trying to do with that. So Revelation 18, I said I want to get that. It's the same point as Revelation 17, but trying to reinforce the point of the golden cup being representing corruption. Man. That golden cup is held by Babylon. And I'm going to read another precept as well based on that. Alright, so this is Revelation. Hold up. So Revelation, so that was 18. 17. Revelation 18 and verse, I'll read from verse 1. Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. That's representative of not literal demons, but rather of creatures, man, as well. And it said, because after this it says habitation of devils, and a hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So yeah, I mean, then again it says, and the hold of every foul spirit, man. So of course all sorts of things are going to be there, and normally demons resides in places that are unclean. So most likely could have it where demons are just lurking around there, man. But the point is that creatures will be there in order to feed off of the remnants of burnt bodies and whatnot. So it says it's going to be like a meal for them. It says in verse 3, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Again, fornication representative of making deals with America, because that's what Babylon represents, America. And it says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. The merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So that's the point right there, man. In fact, let me read on just a bit more. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, which means mentally. Don't subscribe to the ways of Babylon, which really just goes into the diet. What's it called? They call it SAD, which, yes, it is very sad. Standard American Diet. That's what SAD, SAD stands for. In terms of the dietary acronyms. SAD represents Standard American Diet. And that involves obviously the burgers and fast food joints. Because that's what people do, that's what they order. So really, the point is you got to come out of that way of thinking. That's just one example, by the way. Then you got the other ones, as I said, the alphabet community, the transformer community. Then you got just the wicked ways, man, that Babylon is into as well. There's many things that are being exposed this year as well, man. Many things. The secret things that people do in the so-called parties. But yeah, that's just another example. So you got to come out of it, man. Come out of that way of thinking, which that way of thinking really pertains to sin, which is transgression against the Most High's commandments. It says, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And yes, plagues are coming, man, to America, Babylon the Great. Plagues such as famine, pestilence. You're gonna have fires as well. You're gonna have because there's also talking about not creatures. I think it says in Wisdom of Solomon, in chapter 11, about the four things that are made for vengeance, man. And then one of them is fire and hail. So that's going to be used for judgment too on America, which we know for sure fire is going to be used, and that's through the nuclear missiles. That's going to be the major way. And that's in, if you want to know more about that, that's really in Joel 2. The arrows represent the nuclear missiles. So, verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So of course, the same way she's holding that golden cup, trying to give people the wine of corruption, is the same way the Most High is going to give her, but America, a cup to deal with double the consequences of wicked actions. So that's Revelation 18. Let me get Jeremiah and then Yaratazar. I'm going to close it out. Because really the point is that America is that golden cup of which spreads corruption to the world. That's really the point of this video. So Jeremiah, let's get Jeremiah 51. This is Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. Hold on. I was at 41. Let me get 51. Because sometimes you might forget the Roman numerals, because I got the Bible which has Roman numerals. You gotta make sure that you got that memorized in your head. So Jeremiah 51 and verse 7 to about verse 9. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. You know, they're going to be angry because they got corrupted. They don't want to partake in Babylon's destruction, that's for sure. So they got dealt falsely. You know, Babylon trying to make deals. But no way, man. Babylon's got its own incentives to corrupt people, corrupt the nations. Now it says in verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. And what did it say in Revelation 18 and verse 2? Babylon is fallen, Babylon is fallen. And howl for her, take blame for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth in unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So of course, America's on the radar in the heavens, man. In the spiritual realm, the Most High's got a radar on as a target for America, man. Spiritually, you can see it as well, because if you look at the 2017 eclipse as well as the 2024 eclipse, you can literally see with those trajectories, X marks the spot. Go research it. 2017 eclipse and 2024 eclipse, which happened this year, I think around April, if I recall correctly. But the point is, there's an eclipse between the years 2017 and 2024. When you then merge them together, it actually forms an X. So spiritually, that's the Most High marking America for the destruction. You know, we're very close to that for the nuclear missiles hitting America, man. You know, because the nuclear missiles of Joel 2, you know, that's really going to be directed towards America, Babylon the Great. Hence why it says in verse 25, it will be a burnt mountain. Mountain representing a rulership. Burnt because of the fact that they're going to get nuclear missiles hit on it. They're going to receive nuclear missiles to destroy it. So this is Jeremiah 51 and 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, because they corrupt the earth, they corrupt the nations, America, saith the Lord Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth, and I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. Done deal. Through the nuclear missiles, they're going to be a burnt rulership. Utterly destroyed. So yeah, man, as I said, that's the point of the lesson. The golden cup of corruption, or golden cup of corruption. That's America trying to spread their wine, which is representative of their filthy ways, their wicked ways, onto these other nations as well, man. Spreading their ways of life to the other nations, which are not profitable to the other nations. And then they're going to get angry. Then they're going to send nuclear missile once and for all to just end Babylon. So yeah, Shalom, which means peace as well for any new brothers watching. And Kal Halalim La Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Kal Kodash, double on the scriptures and apostles, and Yahweh Tazar, they also edified as well. But yeah, that's really the point. I think I explained what Kal Halalim La means, because it means all praises to, and then Yahweh being the name of the Most High, Yahweh being the name of the Messiah. And of course, I didn't mention this in the middle of the video, but yeah, Shalom, Shalom.